Hey everybody, welcome. If you're just coming on in, we're going to get started in just a moment. Hey everybody, it's Timmy here with Couture. We're going to get started here in just a minute. If you're coming on in, be sure to say hi. I'd love it if you'd take a moment and subscribe so that you can see when I go live with new projects, and feel free to share my page. I would love to get the word out. Love your help with that. Today we're going to be working on a new board, new surface that we just released in our fall winter catalog line, and I'm super excited to share it with you today. And here it is, this gorgeous burlap wrapped board. Hey Miss Shelley, welcome, welcome. Great to have you here today. I am in a new spot here. Hey Janine, welcome. I'm actually hanging out in my dining room. It's the place where I normally do my classes, and it's just such a bright and sunny day out, so I wanted to just enjoy the view from my window while I was doing some chalking. So that's why I'm in a different spot. I'm not quite sure if it's all totally going to be perfect and working out well, because I have a lot of windows behind me. So hopefully it's bright and clear enough for everyone. But as I said, I'm really excited that we're going to be working on this brand new textile surface that was just released in our fall winter product line, which released on I think July 1st. Actually, I think maybe July 2nd. But anyway, it is now live. This burlap board is an 18 by 24 inch board, and it is wrapped with a burlap fabric in a beautiful gray tone, and it's got these beautiful metal embellishments all on it. If you flip it over on the other side so you can see, it's just a single-use surface. It's all wrapped, beautifully made. Couture logo here on the other side. That will also give you a sense of which side is up, so that's always good to take a peek at. But this is going to be really easy to hang, which is great. And the reason why I'm working on this surface specifically today is that my mom is here and visiting from Florida, and she has a friend who just moved into a new home, and she wanted to give her a gift and was really intrigued by Couture, and so she really wanted me to create something for her. So the transfer that she picked that she thought would be perfect for her friend is this one. It's "Gratitude turns what we have into enough." So great saying. And I'm super excited to use it on this burlap board. Now, I have not used the burlap board yet, so this is my first time using it. So we're going to learn together a little bit about how it works. Important to note, according to Couture, they tell us that we can use either our Couture inks with this burlap board, or we can use our Chalkology paste. My mom really wanted a dark blue, so this is actually one of our blues that recently was retired, called Liberty, and I think it's going to be perfect for this shade on this board. So this is what I'm going for. She wanted a darker blue, but do know that you can use either our Couture inks on this as a textile surface, or you can use our chalk paste. Now, what I understand about the chalk paste is that we need to be generous with how much chalk paste we're using. So keep that in mind while you're using our burlap board and our transfers and deciding to go with the chalk paste instead of the Couture ink, okay? So hopefully, fingers crossed, this all works out well, and she loves it. So let's hope that that's the case, right? By the way, these burlap boards are available on my website, so you can definitely head over there if you finish watching the project and you think it would be a fun board for your home or for you to give as a gift. You can hop right over to my Couture site, and I'll put that up there at the bottom there for you, and go ahead and order it. It'll ship right to you directly, so you don't have to wait too long. And this transfer that we're using, this Gratitude, that's the name of it. It is what we call a C size transfer. and it retails for $24.99. And of course, the burlap board, which I didn't tell you, this 12 by 18 is also $24.99. If you are looking for a larger one, we do have a larger natural burlap board, and it's 18 by 24, so it's a big guy. And so that would be a fun surface to work on as well for some of our larger transfers. Matter of fact, I just recently did the Making Wishes transfer on our chalkboard, 18 by 24, but it would look really great, I think, also on this burlap framed board. So wrapped board really is what it is. So as you know, oh, actually, let me just back up for a minute. If you're brand new to Couture and haven't seen this before, what we're using to put the design on the board is our silkscreen transfers. These silkscreen transfers come with an adhesive back, so once we put them on the project, they're not going to move around on us. And they also are reusable. So you can kind of see there is some staining, and that's because I've used it a couple of times already. I created a chalkboard with this for my home. I wanted to kind of test out how it would work. And then I had a open studio night at my house here recently, and one of my guests chose to use this on a chalkboard surface as well with a darker color blue. So notice that there is some staining here on the front. That is not going to affect the outcome or the use of this transfer at all. It's just that the blue color that we used, I think she used Tide, it was one of our new colors, just has some staining. The pigments just leave some stain, but it's not going to affect the usage of your transfer whatsoever. Normally, when we're working on a chalkboard surface, you'll hear me talking about fuzzing our transfer. We don't have to fuzz this transfer because it is going on a textile surface. So whenever you're using a fabric surface, you don't have to worry about fuzzing your transfer because this isn't a sticky surface. So I know, isn't that a cute little truck shell? I found it at Target, my favorite spot, right? So I use it for my little business card holders, and I got a cute little Couture label that I stuck on it. So he's so darn cute. I like to have him hanging out. He makes me happy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the transfer off of the backer sheet. And you want to keep these backer sheets, by the way, because it's what's going to allow you to put your transfer back on and store it when you're done with it. So just a quick tip here. These backer sheets have two sides. One is a glossy side, and that's the side that you want to put your sticky transfer back onto. The other side is a paper side, and it doesn't have a gloss or a stickiness to it. You don't want to put your transfer back on this paper side because it'll stick and you'll get paper on it. So if it's easier for you, I know sometimes I will, if I'm smart, will take a Sharpie and write on the back what the name of the transfer is so that I know this is the back side. So you can do that if that would be helpful. So I'm just going to move that off and just going to change my view here so that we're not getting blocked here by my face. Oops, it's upside down. Now this has been used before, so it's not quite as prone to stick to itself as it does when it's brand spanking new. So I'm not being super cautious with this, but if you're just using it for the first time, know that this can definitely be prone to sticking to itself. So just be really careful about working with it when you are first using it for the first time. Now what I've done is I've laid this down, and these little grommets here are great because they're kind of giving me, or nail heads, I don't know what you call these. What do you call these things, do you think? It will be a nice way to judge that this is in the right spot and it's spaced out correctly. It works really great. And then I'm going to use our 4-inch handled squeegee here and just start kind of making sure that this is really well adhered to the board, and try to clear out any air bubbles that might be there. Now because this has been used before and it is on a fabric surface, we want to go in just one direction with our squeegee while we're working on it, because I can see that it's not quite as sticky as it was when I first got it. And it's the stick that's going to help to make sure that the paste only goes where we want it to go and doesn't leak out the outside. So the next thing here I'm doing is I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of ensure that we've got a really good adherence, is that a good word? Adherence to the board, and there are no air bubbles. So we're going to work really slowly and carefully with this because, as I said, this is a gift and I want to make sure it comes out just perfectly. This is a one-time use surface, so there's not too much I'm going to be able to do to fix it if I make a boo-boo. So we're just going to take it slow and work carefully. So as I said, one of the things that that it says right on the packaging when you use this burlap board is that you want to be generous with how much chalk paste you are using. So don't be shy with how much chalk paste you have. So this would not be a good project for a chalk paste single. You definitely want to use a 3-ounce container of chalk paste. Hey Dawn, welcome, great to have you here. So if you're new with watching and checking out Couture here, this is our Chalkology paste. It comes in a tremendous array of colors, and you can see them all available on my website. And this is a paste, not a paint. I know a lot of people think, oh, you have stencils and you have chalk paint. Not quite. We have adhesive back silk screen transfer, is a little bit different than a stencil. It's not a cut open shape, but kind of a fabric mesh. And that's what the chalk paste is going to cover. It's just these areas here where you can see the board through it. And this is a paste, not a paint, meaning that this is something that's made entirely out of chalk. When we put it onto our surface, whatever it is we're putting it on, it's going to go on wet and it's going to dry hard. One thing we really want to make sure that we do when we're working with chalk paste is that we move fairly quickly. In other words, we don't want to make sure that we want to make sure that the chalk paste doesn't dry on the surface of the screen instead of on the board where we want it to go. So that usually means we need to keep moving around. Oh, Cindy, thanks so much. So if you're just watching me for the first time, Cindy, welcome. It's great to have you here. I, about 6 weeks ago, was sharing how I was really struggling with my nails and stop biting my nails. Now, I'm not a spring chicken. I've been biting my nails for, let's just say, decades, okay? And I was fed up and tired about it, and I decided it was time to take some action and get rid of this horrible habit. So I stopped biting my nails, and I am thrilled that I had the opportunity to get a manicure recently because I had met my goal of letting my nails grow. So thanks, Cindy, for noticing. Very exciting. So now I'm pulling this chalk paste over, and as I said, we want to kind of be pretty generous with our chalk paste. And the reason for that is that this is fabric. So whenever you work with fabric, you will see that it's going to soak in a little bit to the fabric. Don't be surprised, that happens. It's common, it's normal. So we just want to make sure that we're putting on a decent amount here. So a little bit different than working with a chalkboard surface. We tend to be a bit more sparing with our chalk paste when we're working on, and I see it's not totally setting down here as much as I would like it to. And as I said, having used this a few times now, it's not quite as sticky. So I am just going to work on one kind of word here at a time, and then I may lift up and try to make sure that I get a nice transfer of my chalk paste. So I'm just going to do this first word here because, as I said, I think we're getting a little bit of air underneath there, and I don't want to have a little air bubble. So let's take a peek. This is what's kind of cool, is you can actually pull up, see how things are going. Looks pretty good. little light in one area, but in some ways I'm not sure I'm going to stress too much about that because I kind of like this kind of rustic-y look on this burlap. So I'm just going to lay this back down, and before I continue on working on this turns, I'm just going to make sure it's pretty well adhered, and I think it is. So we're going to head to that section next. Excuse my extra arm here. And again, just going to put on the paste there, and that should take care of it. So almost a little lighter hand is going to work well, especially when your transfer is not as sticky as it is when we're working on a chalkboard surface. So just let that screen do its job, and just don't pull that chalk paste really tight like we do when we're working with a chalkboard surface, and that will seem to take care of things. See, now putting it back down didn't hurt anything. We got a nice turns on there, no extra globbies, so that's awesome. We didn't get air bubbles. So just keep working a little area at a time, and generally try to move, if you can, in a single direction. I don't think it's going to hurt anything dramatically if you turn it a tad, say like this, if it's just a little easier. Mostly you just want to make sure that we aren't squeezing so hard on here that we are causing an air bubble. So that's what I'm finding is working here pretty well. Oh, this is such a fun activity. I'm waiting for the storms to hit. They say we're going to get a few thunder boomers here today. Maybe clear out some of this summer heat. Pretty typical, as my husband said. Yep, just a regular summer day, Tim. Got a chance to head outdoors earlier today and take a walk. It was a little humid, but it was nice to get out and walk along the river path. How about all of you guys? What did you do with your morning? Did you get a chance to get out and get some exercise and enjoy the day before things got too hot? I hope you did. All right, and again, just kind of checking here, making sure that there aren't any bubbles there. And again, using kind of a lighter touch than I normally do. And again, I'm going to lift this up. We're going to see how things are going. And see, laying it back down doesn't hurt anything. Looking good. What do you think, guys? So far, so good, right? Couple of spots there that I think we could go a little heavier on if we want to. If we want to leave it as is, I think that's fine too. So again, just going to smooth out this area that we're going to work on next. And just make sure that we're going to get a nice clean area there. Looks pretty good. And I think this time I'm actually going to go bottom to top just to make sure that I don't have any extra air there. So just work with your transfer, just slowly, carefully, patiently. Since we're using so much chalk paste and we're not squeegeeing off a whole lot of excess, this is going to get into that burlap no problem without causing any extra to flow through if we're lucky. So that's my goal, is to get this to go on nicely without getting it to go through into areas I didn't want. So just be generous with your chalk paste and just spread it nice and evenly. And by doing that chalk and pull method here, which is what we were doing when I was showing you what it looks like, we're also guaranteeing that it's not drying on the screen before it gets to the surface. So great. Cindy, you went to the Plainville Campground tag sale. I talked to somebody else who went. Did you see Brenda? Brenda was there as well. Did you find anything good? Oh, do show. I'll have to take a peek on your page and see what you got to chalk on. That's one of the best things, is headed out to find some unique things to chalk on. And that's a great topic to bring up too, because we're using one of our Chalk Couture surfaces, and of course I was talking about chalkboards before that you can chalk on, but one of the most awesome things about these silkscreen transfers and our chalk paste is that you can pretty much chalk on anything, any surface you'd like. So you don't have to use our our surfaces, although we do have some really awesome ones. You can really get unique and find some interesting surfaces that you can chalk. I mean, whether it's walls or frames, even paper. Matter of fact, one of the projects that I'm going to be working on is using our cute Winter Wonderland transfer that just came out, and make some ornaments for my Christmas tree on some heavy cardstock. So I'll share a little bit more about that in the next time we go live. But it's very cool. You can just use it on pretty much anything. And if you decided that you wanted to do a t-shirt, or you wanted to create some holiday napkins or tea towels for gifts, you can use our inks. And once you've placed the ink onto the surface and pulled up your transfer and then let it dry, you could then go ahead over it with an iron to heat set that ink so it becomes permanent and then washable. So there's so many ways in which you can use these products to really create a style that's really uniquely your own. Hey, I see Nancy has joined us. Nancy, welcome. This is not my normal time to be going live, but so I appreciate all of you who are popping in and saying hi on this gorgeous Saturday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And again, reminder that you can get any of these products that I'm showing you on my website. So just chalkcouture.com/Timmy. That's how you can find my page and place an order. And of course, if you ever have questions or need some advice about what projects would be good for you or for an upcoming gift giving occasion, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Be happy to share. And if you are not a member of my VIP group, my kind of special group for chalking enthusiasts, please let me know. Go ahead and put VIP in the comments, and I'll be sure to send you an invite so that you can join me there. Lots of great motivational topics, some sharing of some awesome project ideas, and I do giveaways every once in a while as well. So it's also a place where you can get some specials and deals on some of our Chalk Couture products. So feel free to join me there. If you know someone that you think would love to know more about Chalk Couture, or you yourself might like to know more about Chalk Couture, either purchasing products, hosting a class, or even becoming a Chalk Couture designer and joining my team, please let me know. Please feel free to share the info with them or share my page with them, and I'd be happy to reach out to them and chat with them about that as well. So that is it, folks. We are done with that project, and as I said, we kind of moved along a little bit more slowly than normal, but I wanted to do that just to make sure I wasn't making any boo-boos, since, as I said, this is a gift for my mom. But I think it came out beautifully. I think that Liberty paste, yes, Cindy, just worked perfectly for this. And we do have a couple of other blues that are similar that are available. So if you really like this blue and you can't get your hands on the Liberty, we have something called Cadet, which is also a kind of a bright, vibrant blue like this, or another one that's an iris that's got a little bit more of a purpley tint. So either of those options are available. So I hope you enjoyed this project. I think this is going to turn out to be just a perfect gift for my mom. I think she's going to be really happy to give it. I hope she is anyway. And again, of course, if you have questions at all about this project or any others, or you want to learn more about becoming a chalk couture designer or hosting a show. I do online shows as well as in-person classes. So just let me know, reach out and let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. It's great to have you here with me today. Thanks so much. Bye. Talk to you later.